My name is Christopher Anchetta. Most people call me CJ. I am a captain in the United States Army.
Dorothy Crable, Second Lieutenant, U.S. Army.
Dennis Mercado, Major, United States Army.
Captain New Weir, U.S. Army.
I'm Captain Vin Lei, U.S. Army.
I am Lieutenant Colonel Vincent Manivan, U.S. Army.
Yes, Colonel Jason Chen, U.S. Army.
I'm Colonel Maria Oak, and I'm with the United States Army.
I was born in Lancaster, California.
So I was born and raised in Honolulu, Hawaii. My father is a native Hawaiian.
I'm actually a Navy brat, so I was actually born in Honolulu, Hawaii.
I was born in Pampanga, Philippines. I migrated to Guam in 1989.
I was born in Manila, Philippines, and I came to the United States at 10 years old.
I was born in Seoul, Korea, to a Korean mother and a U.S. father. I was raised in Seoul until I was 18 years old.
I was born into the Vietnam War. The communist forces took over the country of Laos. My family was forced to flee.
I am originally from Laos. My family and I, we escaped Laos around about 1978.
Well, we had to leave Laos because my father, he was in the, the re-education camp, as they called it back then. He was a policeman in the old regime in Laos.
My father went separately. My mother prepared paperwork to claim Thai citizenship so that we could cross into neighboring Thailand.
So we escaped in the middle of the night. We crossed the Mekong River in a boat. My father got shot, crossed over to the Thai border police side.
So when I escaped from Laos or came over across the Mekong, I was 11 years old.
At that time I was about 5 years old.
I was born in Quy Nhon, Vietnam. When I was around 7 or 8 years old, my family immigrated to the United States. In transit, we went to the Philippines, stayed there for about 6 months to do immigration requirements. And then once we got to the States, we settled in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Well, I was born in Beijing, and I permanently settled in America at the age of 9.
I am Vietnamese American. My parents immigrated to America right before I was born, and I was born in Chicago, Illinois.
I was born in Kabul, Afghanistan. Both my parents are ethnically Filipino. My father and mother both worked for the United States State Department.
So growing up, the community I was living in, I was primarily Caucasian, African American, Hispanic, very little Asian community population, and even a smaller population of Filipinos.
Growing up, I noticed there was a language barrier and a cultural barrier. Although I was born and raised in Chicago, I lived in a very multi-generational family unit that only spoke Vietnamese and interacted in Vietnamese.
Well, until I was 5 years old, I stayed at home. We only spoke Korean in my household. And when I started kindergarten on the U.S. base in Seoul, I had to be enrolled in the ESL since I didn't speak any English.
The transition from Philippines to Guam was a little rough.
Well, I came to the United States, into California, in the San Francisco Bay Area at the age of 9 and began middle school, and that was really my first experience of integrating into America.
It was a culture shock. When we came to the U.S., got off the plane, I remember the first thing I saw was a lot of big, tall people. The smell was different. You can smell perfume. This is something that, a child from a refugee camp or living in the jungles of Laos, we don't get to experience. So
when I arrived to Nebraska, it was during the winter season, and that was the first time I had experienced such cold weather.
This one is obviously the language. It was difficult when you don't understand what people are saying around you.
We moved to Iowa for 1 year in 3rd grade. Well, Iowa is very different from Seoul. I mean, population-wise, Des Moines had 500,000, and I attended Pleasant View Elementary in Bettendorf, Iowa, and they did not have an ESL program. And my teachers couldn't interact with me since they had no ESL training.
I had a great opportunity going to Australia as a student ambassador. Just being able to be in a different country, different people, I started to learn that just because the physical aspects are different between people, there's still that desire to live their dream or something that drives them into whatever goal it is that they want to pursue.
And I was fortunate enough growing up in Hawaii to attend the Kamehameha schools for folks of Hawaiian ancestry. We get to learn about the rich culture and heritage of the Hawaiian people.
Afghanistan is beautiful. I think it still is. I think what makes it beautiful is just the culture and the people. That's what I think makes Afghanistan. And prior to my departure, I had wonderful memories. Lived in the international community, so got exposed to a lot of different cultures and languages and friends, which really made the community memorable and very close. So went to school with English-speaking students, but many of them were either basically European, Eastern European. We had some native Afghans there too, Indians, and had made really good friends. And it was just a wonderful childhood experience. It was a little scary. You know, we had the Russians invade. We were in school for about 3 days. And when we finally got to be with our parents, you know, it was just a very short time before we got separated from them.
The school system pushed me through all the grades, even though I would say I failed the classes, but I was pushed forward and continued to push forward, and I was in the ESL for the most of elementary, middle school, junior high.
I worked harder and I studied a lot more than my peers. English was my second language, but gradually it became my primary language. I still speak fluent Vietnamese at home and I still retain it. But I read a lot of books, I watched a lot of TV so that I could pick up the language.
I think it goes back to family values. What your parents instill in you is, hey, don't give up, and you study longer. If it takes the other guy 1 hour, you take 2. If it takes him 2, you take 4. So that's how I overcome some of the language challenges.
In high school, I always strive for excellence. I always try to do my best in academics and participate in varsity sport and join in clubs just to be part of the high school scene. I didn't really make my choice to join the military until around my sophomore and junior year in high school.
For me, I definitely worked hard, graduated valedictorian, did a lot of community service at the local hospital nearby, tried to participate in a lot of clubs that were offered at my high school, and once again, you know, I was the team captain at our varsity golf team.
A documentary on the Discovery Channel about West Point, so I thought, hey, it was something good to be a part of.
Compete for consideration in the United States Military Academy, and eventually got in.
Well, I graduated in 2006.
Been appointed an officer.
Then I was branch honors.
So I'm the class of 2010, and I am part of the Signal Corps, the United States Army.
Well, I was commissioned through the U.S. Military Academy in the year of 2011.
Graduating class in 2011. Dismissed!
It was JFK's video that really compelled me to give back to the country they gave to me. Was a clip of him, of his famous quote saying, "Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country."
And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country.
That was the impetus for my service in the U.S. Army.
I'm an American soldier.
I am an American soldier.
I am an American soldier, and I'm proud to be an American.
I am an American soldier.
I am an American soldier.
I am an American soldier.
I am an American soldier of Laotian descent.
I am a proud American soldier.
I'm a proud American soldier.